Good day and welcome back. Figured I'd show you our new addition to the property. Got a 42-foot fifth wheel. It's called an Arctic Fox. It's actually our son and daughter-in-law's. They have sold their home in Utah. They've moved back here. They bought this fifth wheel. We set it up on the property. Did a little site work to get the RV pad in. Turned out pretty nice. Just cut a level spot on one of the few halfway level spots on our property. Put some landscape rock in. Put a little porch on it so they weren't walking up down that tiny little RV step. And yeah, it's a nice trailer. Very nice. What this video is about is the black tank and how to empty it. So we're able to supply power. We got a 50 amp power coming from the shop, and we got water coming from our outside hose bib right there. But the sewer can be a problem. You can get an outside, like a 300 or 350 gallon holding tank, or you can actually have a company come up and pump your own tank that's in the RV. But still there, it's sort of a problem. So what we decided to try is a product called, it's from a company called FloJet, and it's a Macerator. Model, let's see here, what was this model? 18555-000A from FloJet. And this video is, the first part of July 2022, and we've been told they're making a new and improved model of this Macerator. This is not one of them. This is one of the older models. But the newer model is supposed to have a better motor. It won't kick off so much when it gets overheated. All in all, it's supposedly a better motor, but from all the reviews we've been seeing on this guy, it's a pretty good Macerator. So our situation is we're going to be pumping from the black tank right there about 125 feet into my septic clean out in the back side of the garage. So I've got there's the little grandson having fun. So we're gonna try to pump this through a garden hose. We got a 3/4 inch, I believe it's ID garden hose. Got 150 feet. I got a 100-footer and a 50-footer. I think we're gonna take the 50-footer and cut it in half. No sense running any more distance than we need to. But what we did is we tried it with just regular old hose bib water. We didn't want to fire it up first thing with the black water, so we'll do that test again, and we'll fill up this thing. We've got it powered by just connecting these terminals here to our little boost pack. That'll supply the power for it because it's all DC power. So the wiring on this thing, pretty straightforward, but you do have to do some wiring. These are little butt connectors that they send with it, or crimp connectors, and I had some shrink tube I was able to put over them, but you got to crimp those together. You do have a handy dandy little on-off button switch that you wire in, but that plugs in right here. And they don't give you the connectors for the wherever your power source is going, whether you're going to go to the battery of your RV or just like a dedicated battery for it. Like I said, we're using our little booster pack here. So I had these little alligator clips here, the little black and red ones, and I just crimped them on and soldered them on. So I had permanent little alligator clips. So we'll just connect those to supply power. And we've already tried this once, but we're going to show it on video. We're going to turn the faucet on and test this thing, pumping it uphill. And with a 150 foot of hose, we're going downhill quite a ways, but then we're going to be pumping probably 100 feet uphill up by the shop up there, and we'll show that on video how that works. So we'll turn the hose on and do a little quick test. Let me know if that's too much or not. You want some more water?
A little more.
So we're just filling it up, garden hose. You can hear the pump. And I'll go check the other end of a 150-foot hose. And granted, this is just water. There's no, waste products or anything, but it's pumping. Got a little bit of air in the line. But that's probably, gosh, 10, 15-foot elevation, over 150 feet. I say that should work pretty good because we're not really that far out of level from where the trailer's sitting to where the clean out's going to be. So I think it's going to work. It's got 2 gray tanks, 1 black tank. So we're going to empty one of the gray tanks first. We'll do the black tank and we'll clean it with the gray, and then we'll flush it with the clean water. We'll set up for the real test.
Yeah, we're still leaking.
Oh. Yeah, that's something you want to make sure about. Make sure your fittings are leaking. Why would that guy be leaking? Certainly don't want that. Well, we'll get some more Teflon on it. One thing I probably should let you guys know about, I added this little Rhino clear, it's a 45-degree elbow on it. And just like they were saying on other videos, this connection right there, putting those two together, man, it's tight. It just flat would not go on without some, a little bit of filing, actually quite a bit of filing on both ends. The lip on the macerator and the inside lip on the fitting, because man, it's tight. And even after doing that, it took 2 people, one person to hold the macerator, the other one to twist the fitting on. But boy, that thing is tight. Hopefully on the new model they sort of relieve the tolerances on it, because it's hard to get on for sure. But I guess that's a good thing. You certainly don't want that thing leaking. So we'll fire this thing up, see how it works. Show you what we got over on the other end of the hose. So we got about 20, maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 feet extra hose. I think I'm going to cut it off, as much as I don't want to cut a brand new 3/4 inch hose off, but I think I'll get rid of any excess footage. But underneath the cabinet, I don't know if I can even show it, I had a clean out put in, and then I built the cabinet over the clean out, not thinking I'd ever need it. So I plumbed in this little extension from the clean out, which is under the cabinet, and it's got a little solid plug here. It just unscrews, little cap, and that's an open line into the 3-inch clean out. That's where we'll cut the hose here, we'll shove it down there, and that's how we'll dispose of the fluids. Sure. Cut. There you go. First thing is you got to get the cap off the discharge pipe. It's stuck. Oh, come on. Really? Got it?
Ooh, a lot of pressure. So that's the gray water valve, right? Or no?
But for the galley, they call it. And then these are the 2 releases for the black and the front, or the bathroom holding tank. No, don't pull that.
All right. This is connected. That looks connected. I'm just a little nervous. So hook up your power.
So you want to get the water in there first, pull the gate valve. It's just gray water.
Still.
And it's probably draining through the hose because it's almost like it's draining. There's quite a bit of material in there.
Yeah.
For a sink.
Batteries there?
No. Well, we just ran the gray tank water through it. Didn't see any leaks, didn't back up. Of course, it didn't really have much of a effort to do it. We're pretty flat all the way to the trailer. There's not much grade up or down. So now we're gonna pull the black tank and see how it works. Didn't get any leaks that we saw. We got one fitting, and then we got the connection on the macerator. So to give us a little more power, we just went ahead and hooked directly with a set of jumper cables to the RV battery. Made the connection to the alligator clips on the macerator. I think we can go ahead and pull the black tank, and then we'll start the macerator. Sewage holding tank.
What about this one?
That's the other gray tank.
Water. Alright, here goes nothing. Pull or push?
It gets pulled. That's good. This gate valve ain't leaking.
Smell anything?
There's your tank is a 35-gallon tank, and it said it usually takes 3 or 4 minutes to run that much water through this pump. I think it was 11 gallons per minute on the pump. So it is working, but it's working slow. It is shutting itself off. So unfortunately, when we received this trailer, the tank was full. That is really unfortunate. So we don't know how long those materials were in the tank. And it came out in a pretty thick slurry, so that pump is struggling to get it chopped up, which is probably why it's shutting itself off. And running 125 feet in a garden hose is probably maybe pushing it. But it has shut off and turned itself back on, so we'll keep watching. So this is a few weeks later after that first night of trying to use the macerator. It kept turning on, shutting off, turning on, shutting off, and we ended up finding out that the impeller had been jammed. And a lesson learned: if you're going to be pumping someone else's black water tank, you better take it to an actual place and have it dumped. You should never use this macerator because you don't know what was put into that toilet. The previous owners had used wet wipes in their toilet, and those wet wipes are not going to get chewed up by this macerator. So it jammed it pretty good, where we had to disconnect it, clean it up, get it unplugged, which was not fun, and then we were able to proceed. But that was the next day, and now we're doing a follow-up just to show that it does work, we hope. So we're going to fire it up here and dump his tank. So what we got here is it's hooked up to the gray hose is going to be the discharge line, and he's got the tank valve release levers, one for the black, one for the gray. We just have the power hooked up to it's actually a Power Wheel battery, 15 amp hour battery, and it works fine. So we'll go ahead and pull it, and we'll start the macerator. Like we said, we're pumping it about 125 feet over to that garage over there. Got a 3/4 inch hose, and he's done this several times and it has worked for him every time, so figured I'd do a video of him doing it the last time. And it has worked for him as long as you don't have wet wipes or other products that should not be in RV toilets.
And then I do this.
So we just finished blowing the tank empty, and it may not have been plump full, but he does it once a week. Now he's just going to hit the black tank flush, get water going through it again, flush the tank out. And he's just operating the switch when he sees that the water level is high enough that he can have water going through that pump. So he's probably back flushed it 4 times now, where he just keeps flushing it until it gets somewhat clear. It never gets completely clear, but it has run pretty much non-stop. And now he's getting ready to...
That's the gray water.
Oh, he's already pulled it?
I shut the sewage.
Okay, so black tank is closed and the gray tank is open, and that's all gray water coming out. So he's just cleaning out the pump and the hose. And it worked pretty seamlessly. Nice little unit.